What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S, part of the Media Group, presented by MFTKFoundation.com. MFTKFoundation.com is a go-to website for all things MFTK related. We got a lot of stuff going on coming up. We got our MFTK Stingrays, to our tackle football that's coming up. We've got really a lot of things that I just definitely need time, talent, and treasure. Definitely fucking talent. So let's define time, talent, and treasure. Time legitimately means volunteer. Like, you know, we have the book bag drives. We have you can take I'm gonna go ahead and promote it one more week. I think we'll know next week what we're doing with the golf tournament. But we have, you know, those. We have the book bag drive. We have our youth media day. We've got food giveaways. We've got all kinds of things. Your talent is like what you're good at. Like if you have a company that promotes shit, that's your talent. Some of y'all have companies that do what's that mess called? That do match programs. Man, if your company got a match program, holla at your boy. I'll shoot you the bread to get the match. And now that's $500. Some of them go up to $1,000, go up to $2,000 that you didn't even have to come up with. That will give bread. Or you may know people who know people. That's your talent. And treasure is obviously, you know, write a check. The shit costs money. And the kids appreciate it. The reason why we're on a little bit late today is because, you know, I got a call. I didn't realize that you know, some of my bigger players was going out here gearless. And man, these kids, like, when I tell you these kids be rocking the MFTK brand in Jacksonville is strong. Like, this is the text, like one of the texts I got this morning. Actually, I've got numerous texts from this one parent. Like, we went to the Reigns game yesterday. We were leaving, and my kid saw a tall, slim, dark-skinned kid walking onto the field. And he said, "Oh, he's MFTK." I was at practice, and the kids had the MFTK sweatshirts on. And now every kid wants to know how to get an MFTK sweatshirt. I go up, and my guy Zai tells me, and now granted, our kids have some of the coolest nicknames ever. Maybe a little too cool because I don't know some of these kids' real fucking names. But Zai calls me and says, "Hey, Mason, Nuke, and Jumpman don't have any gear." I'm like, how the fuck does Mason, Nuke, and now Mason's real name, but like, how does Nuke and Jumpman not have anything? Then I thought about it. Jumpman is 6'2", 195 pounds. I don't have anything. Like, he's my 12. He's supposed to be 12. He was 12U. I ain't got nothing for a 12-year-old that big. That motherfucker big as me, damn near. So I had to go, but I got something for Nuke because Nuke is skinny. Nuke, like, tall. I tried to get Jumpman, I had a small and a kid who played for me, Mac Frazier, who was like, "Coach." So like I come over there, and what's funny is they're all going to Battle Flag Nationals with the Jags Elite. And you guys, if you've listened to the show, you know them kind of the ops right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars are kind of oppish, if I'm being honest right now. They all the kids come to my car because they all want to play for MFTK 707 next year. That's fine. But the Jags created their own 707 out of MFTK. And had he just done what we told him to do, you wouldn't be in this fucking situation. But the problem is everybody know everything except for they don't know, but don't know that they don't know nothing. And unfortunately, all them motherfuckers, MFTK gonna have flag football next year. We weren't gonna have flag football, but I'm gonna be my goal. I'm turning 42 this year. And I am entirely too humble. I don't brag enough. And the reason why I say that is because I got in trouble, or I'm facing stuff because I'm too humble. I mean, excuse me, because they say I brag too much. But I don't brag at all. Not really. I just walk. It's a Jay-Z quote for everything. Check out my swag, yo. I walk like a ball player. No matter where you go, you are what you are, player. And you can try to change, but that's just the top layer. You was who you was before you got here. Only God could judge me, so I'm gone. Either love me or leave me the fuck alone. So I'm gonna give people more of an option. But I never really thought about it like that. But I mean, one of these kids, Mac Frazier, and he's so fucking goofy, and I love Mac. Mac Frazier gonna come to me and say, "Coach, I ain't got no sweatshirt, no sweatsuit, coach." Wearing an MFTK sweatshirt. I'm like, Mac, how the fuck do you have that on? Then he says, again, these fucking names. Oh, this is Tudor's sweatshirt. Tudor was on my 14U. But Tudor will be back next year, hopefully. Me and, his dad, Glenn, upstanding man. Glenn apologized to me about some stuff, chalk it up as a misunderstanding. I ain't got no quarrels with it. I ain't got no quarrels with nobody, but it just chalk it up as a misunderstanding. He can come back. But man, when I tell you that thing, Tudor been wearing that shit. Like, like I'm talking about, I said, that thing been through some battles, baby. Like, it's the kids who, even when you don't fuck with it, you gotta fuck with it because it's fuck wittable. And so this shit costs money, is what I'm saying. So the finer that they know, Coach Coleman gonna brag on us. Coach Coleman gonna promote us. Coach Coleman gonna do Coach Coleman gonna ride for who's or his. And I really don't give a fuck if you play for anybody else. I just ask that the 6 to 8 weekends that we have scheduled, you just show up to that, if possible. Now life happens, but like if you can't show up, don't show up. What you do on the other weekends is of no consequence to me. I give no fucks about any of that shit. But all that being said, man, I just like, it was the end of like, can I get a book bag? Can I see Noah Roberts? And, Noah played for us, but then split. Noah got a big smile on his face. I see it was about like 7 of the kids. It's only fucking 12 kids on the team. The other ones didn't come because I guess they ain't really know me, or they may not fuck with us, and whatever. They don't fuck with us right now, but they'll fuck with us later on. But now I got to get more book bags. I got to buy more gear. I'm going to keep a sweat because I got plenty of sweats. I got my goddaughters in MFTK sweats. We're going to do track next year. We're going to do a lot more things to put the brand out there more, and we're going to piss more people off. That's the goal. My goal for my 42nd year on this planet is to piss so many people off that it becomes a part of, like, it makes you like I want to make people so mad that when you come into a place wearing an MFCK, they have to give you gear because they want you to take it off. It's offensive through becoming great. So that's my goal in life. And the only way to do this is to fundraise and to continue to push out the positive message and continue to be able to get winners. I do not want losers around me. Shoot. But on that note, things like this happen. Before we get into all of those things, I just thought that was a cool, funny story. Oh, by the way, Mac Frazier got like a whole bunch of shit. Like, he got my MFT, the OG. He got a Florida State long sleeve MFTK shirt. He got a sweatshirt. Like, because I gave him and Liam a bunch of gear because I didn't have enough. It was a cold day. I didn't have enough jerseys for my quarterbacks. So quarterbacks can wear whatever they want to wear at 7-on-7. So I gave him some other shit and then just whatever, man. Max a goofball. Good kid though. Like, dad's getting out of jail. One, I've never seen he's the most supportive father behind bars that I've ever seen in my life. post brother, I didn't know this motherfucker was locked up. Like, he stayed posting shit on social media. Like he's like, and he's proud. I can't man. I might send his dad a kite or whatever it is. Like give him something. Give him an MFCK package when he get out, just so he can rock the brand. He went to Reigns and he was a ball player at Reigns. I think he was a quarterback at Reigns. At one point, like back in the day. But good people, man. Good kids. Just you see their smiling faces, man. It just does something to my cold ass heart. But you know, I can't wait to. And then they all talking about they're gonna all be on the greatest 14U team ever assembled. But like, I'm like, damn, y'all. So now I thought my 12U was cocky. Now I'm a 14U. Guess them motherfuckers bumping up to 12U. So they're just gonna increase the cockiness. But I'm here for it. I love it. But on that note, let's start our show off with the way we start each and every show off with a good Hawaiian word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
All right, Jaden, what we got?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another morning edition of Big Games B.S. here on Friday, May 22nd. This is your first time at the show. Welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games B.S., it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. First things first, we got some continuation topics to touch on in this MFTK segment before getting into some highly controversial FSU news in that recruitment world. And then we're going to transition from FSU to some more college talk in the college football landscape, including some laws and college football playoffs and coaches as well. We're going to do that before getting into our NFL section. We're going to start off with the home team, with the Jaguars, talk about some QBs, some players, and then some information as well for the upcoming seasons in the future. And then we have our Big Games BS section where we bring the scope of the convo outside of the typical sports world. But today we have a sports topic we're going to close out on after touching up on our BS or busting food review segment. First things first, let's
hold on before we get into that. We'll get into those things, but this is what this show is about: community, right? So, shout out to Wayne Johnson and shout out to Charles Walker. So Charles, damn, I can't believe it's been 2 years. It feels like it was like last year you got married. Charles, you know, she's pretty and she's cool people. Charles came over. I think Charles had him and the fellas came to the lounge, right? If I remember correctly. Y'all came, I made sure they got into that little VIP post. And you know, he made sure he celebrated. He would not let me do for him what I did for my boy OJ. So I hope his wife, because my bad, I shouldn't even said that name. Well, actually, no, fuck that bitch. Like not Charles's wife, but OJ. It didn't work for OJ, so it's probably not. I'm probably not the best person to have to throw your bachelor party, but he wouldn't let me get He wouldn't let me get him the 2 impossible strippers. You know, it's two. We had 2 full-size strippers and 1 midget. So he wouldn't let me do that for him, but he definitely got that going. But he came over, made sure that, you know, I remember that day. I thought that was I don't know why I thought, man, just feel like time just fly just like that. And Wayne Johnson, we definitely looking out. Inbox me. I'm gonna try to put in the best word I can. I don't know if it's gonna help, might hurt, but I want to make sure we get your wife that gig. You know what she's doing, man. We need more people over there that want to work at the highest of 7 hills, man. I really I appreciate you even reaching out to me about that, man. It was real good stuff, man. We're here to try to help one. If each one reach one, if she makes more money, the way it works is he can be a higher level on the YouTube. Or he can donate more money to the book bag drive, or we can do other shit. So like the goal is to help each other out where we all have connections and be able to help each other navigate. I'm telling you guys, the way this world is going, find you a tribe, find you a community, find some people that's gonna help you, dog. It's gonna get harder. You're gonna so yeah, some of y'all about to be turning tricks. Like, because gas is damn near. I mean, gas went down 50 cents to go back up 50 cents in a day. Like this shit is crazy. Now you got to play double dutch with the fill your tank up, and people gonna be turning tricks, man. So I don't know, man. Like this shit is wild. But on that note, so you don't have to turn tricks, let's donate and just continue to get the book bag drive going, get this food things going, 7-on-7 girls flag, a lot of different things. June 8th, great event. We have the golf tournament. Bigger than that, I want to anybody knows schools that should be in there that you would like to see in there, please reach out, give us some suggestions. We will be I gotta keep pushing this. That 10K number is real. Like there is nothing you can do, just so people can know. Let's do the math. I just want you to know that so we can keep the money up there. Hold on, I'm looking. Oh, my bad. Shoot. Ooh. Oh, okay. My bad. I was looking at something crazy. Just so we can we can do what we need to do. We're gonna do the math right here. So $500 times 16 teams. A lot of times people be like, "Oh, this is just a money grab." 7-on-7, you can't do this, and blah 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 blah. 500 times 16 is 8,000. 8,000 is less than 10,000, right? That basically covers the referees, the facility usage, the insurance, the awards, the trophies. Battle is coming in. They're sponsoring. We have the Army is going to sponsor it as well. We got the checks written for the school. So like, again, in a world where they're cutting budgets, if you truly have faith in your team, if you truly believe your squad is like that, reach out, put the $500 up. Let's prove it. Go win. Go get the money. The problem is a lot of people like to do this right here, but at the end of the day, your heart pump Kool-Aid, and your jits ain't like that. If you know who I believe truly believes in their jits, Creekside High School out of Georgia. Them motherfucker. When I said, he's like, bet. He said too quick. He like, you ever had somebody answer so fast that it scares you? Like the way he answered scared the fuck out of me. Like I said, well, I don't want Mandarin playing those motherfuckers then. Goddamn. But we're gonna probably open. I'm gonna re-talk to the schools in Georgia that I know that we've reached out to, and we're going to the next phase. It's gonna be Northeast Florida Classic. I'm gonna reach out to the school in Louisiana, South Carolina, North Carolina. We're going all over this place. I want 16 teams that are like not 16 ball clubs, 16 teams. And I'm mad. The only thing I'm mad about is that there's another, because I completely bit. I ain't gonna hold you. This is the Crib Classic. I took their whole idea. I'm mad at myself though, because I probably should have I should have upped the ante, because there's another one that's happening on June 20th. They're giving away 15K. I don't like that. Don't like that, because the Crib Classic wasn't even giving away. I put 10,000 out there because the Crib Classic was giving out like 5. And I'm mad as fuck that they jumped me. Whoever this other group is, they put out 15K. I did not like that. Don't. It befuddled me. I was trying to figure out how to up it, but I can't. I'm not this year. No, sir. Like, it is. I'm learning that this is my ministry. My ministry, and that's why people get mad at me. People don't act right until I do shit. And then when I do shit, that's when everybody else want to be like, all right, man. Like, now I'm going to go. Now I'm finna get into it and get active. I'm like, man, if you would have done what the fuck you were supposed to do in the beginning, I wouldn't be here. I want to join forces too. I'd be like, I be wanting to be LeBron. Like, I want to be LeBron. They just say, I want to join forces with somebody. Like, I want to join another team. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Like, you know, people be like, you know, just like with the 7-on-7. Like, if y'all would have done what the fuck you was supposed, I would have joined your 7-on-7. I'd have gave, it would have been less money, less energy. It would have came with one obligation. You got to play. Wait, excuse me. He doesn't have to play. He got to be on the team. Drake, that's the only obligation. Then 13U football. He got a 13U team. We got, bitch, I didn't know you had a 13U team. Why didn't you say something? I'd have put his ass on your team and then watched. And say you can't coach. I be wanting to yell at, the best thing that happened to me was somebody snitching on me to the district with Mandarin. Because now I get to stand on the sidelines and be like, them motherfuckers can't coach. Like I told my dog, I can't wait till Trey becomes a high school kid. So I could be like, that fat ass motherfucker don't know what the fuck he doing too. The shit seems therapeutic when as many parents do this shit. That's all it is. Don't coach, won't go volunteer, can't pass a background check, can't win a championship in Madden, but will tell you motherfuckers can't coach. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize, Jaden. Next thing.
We got some news coming from a recruit right up the street. Yes, I said those words on purpose. We have some news coming from 4-star wide receiver Mr. Simmons, who plays high school ball at God B High School in Tally. But there was a lot of controversy surrounding Mr. Simmons and the overall continuation of the recruiting dilemma at FSU, because Simmons chose Clemson over FSU and Florida, as well as Auburn and Tennessee. He is a standout wide receiver at Godby High School in Tallahassee, Florida. But don't take my word for it. Take friend of the show's word for it, CJ Wilson 850, because he said he's the most talented wide receiver to come through the city in 17 years. Another Cougar, by the way, another Godby player, and he's leaving the city. We have to start taking care of the 850. A lot of local talent is about to come up. Starts with winning games. Friend of the show, CJ Wilson, put on his X account. But James, I know we sound like a broken record, and we do have another recruit, another commit to FSU that we will discuss. But what does it say about FSU if we cannot get 4-star wide receiver Mr. Jamarin Simmons from the crib from Godby High School?
Recruiting is like one of the numerous coaches have said this, so I don't want to give one coach credit for this. Coaching, they said they won't hire a coach who doesn't have an attractive wife. And the reason why is because recruiting and coaching is a lot like having game. And one of the things that I remember hearing when my teammate, God damn these nicknames, Stanford Samuels said, we called him Boosie when I played. Boosie said, there's not a kid in the state of Florida that leaves that Jimbo wanted. And it was really intriguing. Like, he's like, if we want the kid, he's coming to Florida State. This business is relational. Simmons was almost was like, bro, when I tell you this close to being on MFTK, we put out the pressure. We put the pressure on him, dog. But you know, like he was with the team that he was with, Coastline is really, really good. And Coastline, he had been playing for Coastline for a while, but I ain't gonna let that shit happen again. I'm getting the dogs. But it comes down to who you hire. You've got guys that I would have hired who are really local legends. That, I mean, really going out here, really getting these kids. Like when we do camps, you'll see these kids there. When we do a lot of things, you'll see these kids there. Like, I'm hiring BJ. Before I hire, and this is no, I ain't gonna call names out. I'll just say this. I'm hiring BJ Daniels. BJ Daniels went to Tallahassee Lincoln, came up in the city. Dad, Mr. Bruce Daniels, was the director of African American relations at Florida State for a while. We did not recruit him to play. He played at South Florida and was a part of that South Florida team that came into, I believe they came into Doak and beat Florida State. It wasn't like a pretty game. Like, it wasn't like BJ set it off, but they won. And I'm hiring Pat Watkins. You got Ernie. Ernie does the relational thing. You're hiring guys that aren't getting the results. Like, it's not that, like, just, I don't know, like, it's 1 + 1 = 2 still, right? So it's not me saying, like, this isn't working, but I'm just, it's the results. Now, if the on the field record, you do got to have that. But man, some of this shit, I've told y'all, some of this shit is just common sense. When I had a guy tell me, well, which one of y'all am I supposed to call? Bitch, both. Everybody. Like, you got unlimited anytime minutes now. This ain't like back in the day when we was in college where you can't call anybody till after 9 p.m. on a weekday. Like, you got to get in the game, dog. Got to get in the game. And it's unfortunate because you should be when I heard my boy Grimes say this, it was one of the realest statements ever. 250-mile radius. I ain't let nothing come. That is like, you got that covers Jacksonville. It gets you past Pensacola into Bama, and probably into Mississippi a little bit. You got that gets you all the way through South Georgia, get you to Central Florida. Like, you should have a radius. It should be like there. You should be able to go anywhere, including the Gulf of America. If there's an athlete in the Gulf of America, they should be going to fucking Florida State. And you know what? Put that up there. This is where it becomes bullshit. Till Dog puts up a very good point that I've heard a lot of people say. And because this shit ain't changed, dog. Like, you're talking to some kids who have been there their entire life, can't wait to get out of here. For them, it's not even about the universities doing anything wrong. But when has that never not been the case? No, it's something that the university isn't providing you, and there's a disconnect. Because you know what you don't have? It's not like when you go to the University of Miami, I will say maybe a little bit different than other places, but this motherfucker going to Clemson, South Carolina. Has anybody on this chat, if you've been to Clemson, South Carolina, please tell me that Clemson, there is not a goddamn thing that I would want to do anywhere else that's like close to Clemson, South Carolina. The only thing you have to do is football. That shows me that's a football decision. There's a church. There is one road in, one road out in Clemson, South Carolina. You have to fly into Greenville, South Carolina just to get there. Tell me the first time anybody said, you know what? God damn it, I want to go to Greenville, South Carolina. You never have. You have to hop in a car to drive to Atlanta to be able to find something to do. The same shit you would have to do growing up here in Tallahassee. There isn't anything there. If you were losing out, that argument would make sense if Georgia Tech was getting all the athletes. If Miami was getting Miami's getting a shit ton of them. If South Florida was getting all the top guys. If LA, that was the thing about when LA had the resurgence. I mean, when USC, everybody's like, man, you got to go out there. You ain't never been to LA. You haven't done this. Like, no, it's because they're losing. And it's because there isn't any energy or any buzz. And we did not capitalize on 10-3 and 13-1 in the manner in which we should have capitalized. And it comes down to, it's not about being cheap. The money is there. It's about who we've put the resources in and not going after the guys in which we should have gone after. That's the facts. Like when you missed on God damn it, the young man who ended up going to Miami and was first overall pick, quarterback. You did miss on him. He said he was going to the NFL. The minute he said he wasn't going to the NFL is the minute your ass should have went over there and tried to put and done exactly the exact same thing that Miami did. Miami went and they signed. Remember, they signed Huff and Puffer, a Reese's Peanut Butter Puff or whatever, and then they tried to make you believe he's the greatest quarterback. And the minute that motherfucker said he wasn't going to the NFL, they went and signed him. It's a combination of having guys who are not willing to play the game. And it's not just the staff. I'm going to put this on boosters too. I'm going to put this on people who don't believe in the NIL. The people who complain about the NIL are the guys who don't have the money to be able to play about it. Like, that's the facts.
That's Clemson stats.
Well, as far as
it says 19,000 people.
It is a college fucking town.
It doubles when school is enrolled.
It's a fucking college town. Auburn is a fucking college town. Alabama is a fucking college town. I went to Athens for the first time in my life about a month ago. Ain't shit in fucking Athens. And it ain't close to Atlanta. Took me damn near an hour and a half to get that motherfucker from Atlanta. That's like saying Tallahassee is a suburb of Jacksonville.
Tallahassee 200,000. I thought it would be small.
No, Tallahassee is a real big. And then Bud Elliott put that bullshit that there's like 1 million people around that motherfucker. It's not. Like, the thing is, you got to drive. When you go to these places, you have to drive. You literally have to drive. If I have to drive 90 minutes to get somewhere, that shit is not convenient.
Right.
It's 24 hours in a day. You sleep 8 of them. That's 16. If I got to drive, if 3 of the hours are spent traveling, that is not something I want. That is something that I have to truly want to do in order to go there. So when people tell me it's about, I just want to get out of Tallahassee. Yes, when you suck. Tallahassee is a terrible place to go to live in when you are from there and Florida State sucks. When you are from there and Florida State is good, it is one of the best places to live. You want to know how I know? Fucking experience. Y'all listen to these motherfuckers who ain't never did shit. And the motherfuckers who did shit can tell you it's a reason why I can still walk around my city the way I walked around some 20 fucking years ago. Maybe hold on. What year are we in? 21. God damn, I'm old. Matter of fact, you probably start getting more people wanting to come back when you start honoring the motherfuckers who actually did shit. 2005 was the first outright ACC championship. We ain't did no fucking 20-year reunion for that shit. You got people going into the Hall of Fame who ain't did shit, but you ain't even honoring the people that did shit. And you're wondering why you can't get people in there. But my point in all of that is you don't have folks that know what it was like. The reason why Crow be cussing y'all asses out is because we grew up with FAMU was hot and Florida State was hot. There was no like if Bobby went to your hood, you was fucking going to Florida State. When Bobby came to you, I don't even know how to tell you guys. I don't know how to describe it to you. When that old man came in them high water ass khakis, your whole hood shut down. It was people who wanted to come over your house who called you a fucking terrorist, said you weren't a statistic. You gonna be in that common baby gonna be in jail. The way them kids just talk. But when Bobby come around, oh, I always knew that boy was gonna be something. I just knew he was that. Matter of fact, here's my daughter. Like, the nigga, big head boy wasn't good enough for your daughter until Bobby came around that motherfucker. Now it's not the same, and it's okay to admit it, but you got to get some hitters. You got to get some guys with some relationships. You got to cheat. Like, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, dog. At this point, shit, I told them niggas, man, listen, they called $250,000 from Tyler. $250,000 let me work from home. $500,000 I'll move back into my mama house and work from Tallahassee. I'll come in, I'll show up when you need me to, and then turn the other way. You'd have got Simmons. You'd have got Simmons. To be honest with you, some of these guys that you actually are getting aren't even, if you was recruiting the backyard better, like you going to, matter of fact, pull up the recruit. This is pissing me off. Pull up the recruit. Somebody pull up 247 Florida State commit list right now. Ain't nothing but 3 stars on that motherfucker right now. Because if we're gonna be for real, and the stars are the stars, and then we're looking at guys, and mid is mid, let's just look at this shit. Florida State's like 39 or something right now. Like, we way down that motherfucker. Like, we don't have that many kids that once you add a couple more guys, you'll get better. But but like, when I'm thinking about, you got a wide receiver that's setting like all kinds of fucking records on the track at Rickers. You got two 3-stars at Rickers right now. All right, there we go. 9. Then we the 9th in the ACC. God now. I know that ain't how it's gonna end, but just it don't look good right now. We gotta get that better. All right, so let's go. Okay. So tight end. So we gave up a wide receiver from Thomas County Central that was a 4-star that wanted to come here. You got Logan Flattery. I don't know if he's any good. I know we just had him commit. I don't know. You got a kid. Where does that say he's from? This DB. He's from Tennessee. You got a 3-star cornerback from Tennessee, and you got a 3-star DB and nephew, Tyler Walker Jr. at Rickers High School. You know who Tyler Walker's best friend is? Jamarian Simmons. You know how you can have a good opportunity to be able to get. See, there used to be this thing where they used to call a buddy scholarship. You offer a scholarship to a kid with the hopes to get their friend. And you bring both of them in at the same time. Matter of fact, you know who understood this? Clemson. Clemson wanted a kid named Jamie Harper. Phenomenal athlete, dope-ass athlete. Jamie Harper was good friends with a kid named, I believe it was Daniel Andrews. And Daniel's dad was a coach at Trinity. They offered Daniel as a safety to be able to make sure they got Jamie. They had Peter Boulware is one of the famous ones that happened at Florida State. Peter Boulware was a wide receiver before when he was in high school. They offered Pete's friend or a teammate, and they offered Pete to be able to get him. Peter Boulware ended up being a better player. If you're gonna give me a 3-star from Tennessee, give me the fucking 3-star from in my own backyard too. Commits less resources. Maybe we could put more resources in getting the other. Actually, pull that back up. Let me see if Tennessee offered this motherfucker. Because this would be a tried and true thing to tell you if a kid's good. Pull back up the I hope Tennessee has offered this kid. At least Vanderbilt. And this is no knock on the young man. I don't want to ever feel like anybody. I don't besmirch young men. Because I always want them to be proud of the fact, and I want guys who want to come to Florida State. But I'm just telling you guys that the game is relationships. It's the easiest way to be able to get this shit. This shit ain't rocket science, and it ain't hard. And I'm not saying they're not trying. I'm just saying Dayon Cooper. And he light skinned too. Click on this profile. Okay, all right. So he does have an offer from Tennessee. So okay, so I ain't mad at that. He got an offer from Tennessee. So I mean he got to be something decent. But like, if you're gonna do all of this stuff, like keep it simple, stupid. Offer the kid's best friend. You ain't gotta bring them. Just offer them. Just be like, hey, pretend like you like them. You ever? Some of y'all are upstanding gentlemen. You've only been you met the love of your life. You married them, and then things like that. But see, back when I used to run and rip, it used to be called a 2-man, and then sometimes somebody had to get there was always sometimes it had to be a 3-man. There's always the ugly friend. Actually, one of the kids on my 707, I ain't gonna say his name, but he's the best. I seen them at work at the 7s. He was the best. That boy went and got the ugly fat girl so that everybody else could flourish. He went and he was the wedge buster. He went and broke up the wedge, got the ugly fat friend. Some of these boys I know the kids with MFTK from my 18U and my 15U gonna be all right. He went and got you need somebody. What you do is you got to find the person who is the gatekeeper and you got to occupy them and get them out the way so that you could get to the prize. And every weekend, somebody got to be that person. Like, you can't always be the hogger. But like Jimbo was so I got my boy Corin told me so. Jimbo was so diabolical as a recruiter. He found out that a mama liked my dog Corin. And this man was about to sacrifice Corin to go be with this ugly ass mama just so they could seal the deal with the prospect. I thought like that. We don't have nobody that diabolical right now. That's all I'm saying. All right. I apologize. You can only win games when you can only win games when you have good players. But all right. Hopefully we got a good quarterback. We got the quarterback for class of 2027. From out of is he at what school is he at? It's not Venice. State champion, I believe. Everybody it was a lot of controversy about this commitment. My guy Poke Way was very high on this kid. This kid has a wide receiver that is a top prospect. And a lot of people were saying, "Oh, 3-star U, he's not any good." Can we pull up his film? I want to watch this kid's film. I don't know enough, but I do know he was one of the names that we were looking for to try to bring onto our 7-on-7. But we like our guy Jackson. I got Jackson out of Now again, I got a kid at Lake Brantley that's pretty fucking good for 2028 that I know y'all would try to get, but Jackson Streeter is good. Jackson is the one that I had to put a stack on to get to fucking battle national so we could put on a good show. And we damn near won that bitch. 3,600, 42 touchdowns. That is nothing to scoff at. I ain't watching 11 minutes, but let's see how the first couple plays go. Are they going to catch my attention? All right. Well, he's patient. Climb the pocket. Okay. Fuck it. Somebody's down there somewhere. I ain't mad at that. Boy, if this motherfucker don't score, okay. All right, this is Lakeland. I don't know if you guys realize that's a pretty good school. Okay. All right, a bunch of midgets from this clip. This clip does nothing for me. All right, that's the plays that I want to see. Why isn't that the first play on his highlight? Drop back, throw in the rhythm, catch and stretch it. This one right here, drop back, toss it, give it like DB had no chance. Okay. I don't see enough to be able to just make me mad. Now, is he the kid from Louisiana? No, he's not him. Is he the kid? Is he Bless Mons? No. But is he bad? Oh shit, he got his ass right. He can take a punch. I can tell you that much. He got wide receivers that can track it. Tough to tackle. Oh, okay, little Pilgrim can run. All right, we good. We good. We good. Like I said, man, I don't see the need to talk bad about the kid like that, man. That's not a bad get. I mean, to be honest with you, the way that they're developing and the way they're making these kids have to produce at an early age anyway, developing a quarterback out of high school is damn near impossible. I'm grateful that the kid that a lot of people said wasn't any good anyway, that's probably going to start for the University of Florida next year. You know, I'm shocked. He's again, from a cerebral standpoint, he's smart.
We have some updates for you guys, and this involves a familiar face. Yes, this is Texas Tech QB Brendan Sorsby. So we got some updates for you guys. According to Pete Nakos, the temporary injunction hearing is set for 9 a.m. Central Time on June 1st in Brendan Sorsby case per court documents. And we also have learned that Texas Tech has formally ruled starting quarterback Sorsby ineligible and is filing for reinstatement with the NCAA for the 2026 season. So he's actually formally ruled ineligible. It is, yes, formally ruled. So just want to give you guys an update on Sorsby and with the process with his case, especially with that temporary injunction hearing set for June 1st. This comes shortly after Sorsby filed a lawsuit against the NCAA to expedite the process. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that as well. We got some more legal topics to take a stab at. But since we're on the topic of Texas Tech, Steve Sarkisian, the coach of Texas, took some shots at the Big 12 team, and many people had something to say about Sark's comments. So, according to On3, Sark said this: there's a team in our state that plays in another conference that has a schedule that I would argue if I played with our twos and our threes, we could go undefeated. And they'll probably make the CFP this year. This comes after Sarkisian was discussing how the CFP committee factors strength of schedule. And then you see Cody Campbell at the bottom right here. He is on the board of Texas Tech saying, schedule us then. We've been talking about it for years and we are more than willing. So, James, what do you think about Steve Sarkisian's comments, especially when it comes to the Big 12 playing, or more specifically, Texas Tech playing Texas's schedule, and that Sarkisian doesn't think they would have that much success if Texas Tech played the SEC schedule? But he's saying Texas, even with their twos or threes, can devour and beat Texas Tech and their opponents.
Let's look at some things that will make sense, right? Like, let's look at another Texas school, right? Texas played University of Texas El Paso. You would think that would be a game where your twos or threes could be successful, correct? And they were victorious. They won 27-10 against Texas El Paso on September 13th, 2025. They played the University of Florida, and they were one of Florida's, I believe, 5 wins last year. They lost 29-21. Texas went to overtime with Kentucky, 16-13. I believe Texas Tech would beat Kentucky. I'm just putting that out there. Vanderbilt was better this year, but they're not that good. I just don't have any real anything to like any tangible evidence. Now you could play them instead of playing Texas State. You could play them instead of playing Texas San Antonio. There's opportunities to play this team. You've just chosen not to play this team. So we won't know. So like it's easy to say because you know there's only one school right now in Texas that has the chops to be able to pay bar for bar, word for word with you right now. And that would be Texas Tech Red Raiders. They ain't got the pirate there no more. They spinning back. They putting bands out there. So that was Sark trying to do his thing where he has to play the game. But I don't, he don't believe that. So I can't believe that with him.
Lane Kiffin is cheating, James. He did the unthinkable for the LSU squad, and it looks like a familiar face is back with the Tiger program, and that is none other than the national champ winning Cajun talking Coach O, aka Mr. Ed Orgeron, and he has finalized a deal to be on Lane Kiffin's staff. And I think he's gonna be in recruiting, and I think his other title is something on the defensive side as well. But we all know Coach O to be a great recruiter, James. And how important is this for LSU in the recruiting cycle, especially since we talk about the big boys of the SEC, especially in the likes of Texas? Texas schools have that Texas money. What does this do for LSU recruiting getting Coach O back?
You got a guy that is a developer of men, and that is a guy that people want to be around. Coach O is a person who I personally believe, if you were to get rid of Mike, bring me Coach O. That's the person that I would want to go with. So I just don't understand why LSU would even fire him in the first place. Because now when you think about it, you paid him $12 million to leave to play Brian Kelly to do absolutely nothing, to pay him to leave, to pay Lane Kiffin to bring him back, and probably pay him close to what you wanted to pay, close to what you were paying him already, just to be a consultant. So personally think it's good. Good for them. It's smart. He knows ball. He also knows how to recruit. I mean, have you heard the story about him with damn, I'll be forgetting these names, boy. But the quarterback, like he shut down, like he took him to a restaurant that didn't serve crawfish, gave him the money and said, y'all gonna serve crawfish today. And went and like he does what's necessary. Like to me, that would, even if it was like a ploy, that would have made me want my son to play there. Cause like he's like, you gonna y'all gonna make sure that this kid is taken care
of. It was Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
And yes, somebody in the chat want to shout them out for being good stewards of the game. Show enough DJ 8478. They did just in fact finish paying Coach O. I think it was around that $12 to $15 million price range. I could be off by a couple million, but they just finished him, and they do and they did have the buyout for Brian Kelly as well. And then they just signed Kiffin as well to that contract, and that lengthy, lucrative contract. So they're paying or just recently paid 3 coaches, and that it can be a lot for a school, but looks like LSU's trying to get that on the back end in recruiting. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about increasing the amount of teams in the CFP, aka the college football playoffs. We are now at a 12 team format, and people want a 24 team format as well. And a very important person is looking to get behind this, and that is the Big Ten Commissioner James, and his name is Tony Patetti. I know we really talk about Jim Phillips because he's the ACC commissioner, but the Big Ten Commissioner had this to say. So inside our league, he's referencing the Big Ten, there's a deep commitment to 24 teams in a 24 team college playoff in the access. He says the desired access comes from the investment programs are making. But I want to share this with you guys just so you can get more of an idea on what a 24 team playoff would look like. And Chris Vanini actually summarized this up very well, and he lays out why a 24 team college football playoff could take a hammer to the climax of college football. So let's just look at the first bullet point, and we're going to read some of this as well. In real life, Michigan needed a miracle upset of Ohio State to have any playoff hope. Instead, the Wolverines lost by 18. With the 24 team college football playoff, they are comfortably in regardless. Alabama had to beat Auburn to keep its place in the CFP field and proceeded to blow a 17-point lead before rallying to win late. Meanwhile, Oklahoma needed to beat LSU to hold on to a berth and trailed with 5 minutes left before a late score. With a 24-teamer, both teams are comfortably in and have opening round home games regardless. Texas and Vanderbilt needed to beat rivals Texas A&M and Tennessee respectively and hope for some chaos above them to get into the field. They won, but they didn't get the chaos. With the 24-teamer, they're both in regardless. So, in theory, number 23, Georgia Tech facing Georgia could have had playoff stakes with the 24-teamer, but the committee actually boosted Yellow Jackets in the rankings after another loss to the Dogs. Turns out they're in regardless. So, why in theory? Because with the CFP committee's historic view of mid-major teams, I can't say it would be a surprise if the second best group of 6 team tended to rank no higher than 25. The cynic in me says that Tennessee might have grabbed the last spot in the field instead. And a lot of the talk with this is kind of synonymous with the bowl talk and bowl games with college. With the 2014 playoff, a lot of people are saying that teams would just sit their star players sooner and sooner in the 2014 playoff, kind of like how you see in bowl games and such of that nature. But James, what is your biggest critique of the 2014 playoff from information you see presented in this post or from your own knowledge and background?
I mean, they can just change the schedule around. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to play rivalry games that late in the season. You can play there's already rivalry week isn't always the end of the year. Bedlam, Bedlam doesn't get played anymore. Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. The Red River rivalry isn't played Thanksgiving weekend. So Texas and Oklahoma gets played in the middle of the season. Miami, Florida State historically has been played middle of the season. And if not, they'll play it outside of the few times when I played in it, when we played Labor Day. You can just move these things around to where they still do have the impact that they have. And you still have those things. And what you do is, what I would want to do is actually play my tougher games the beginning of the season and probably play a more of an easier game toward the end so that I could probably rest my starters. That's one. I don't want to see 24 teams in because I don't believe unless you truly change it and you go to a format that is very similar to what we see with 7-on-7 and soccer and volleyball and a lot of these other tournament style weekends that you do. And you just treat the regular season as pool play. You don't have any rankings. Schedule there's like 50 teams, and those 50 teams are scheduled at random. And you get seeded by how you by how you rank, not rank, excuse me, by how your record is. And that's just the way it goes, year in and year out. Like none of us, like for example, like when I go to these tournaments, they're going to put a lot of times, like they put me in with Tampa Flex, which is one of the best teams. Like one year, like one tournament, I had 3 teams that had made like the finals. Like that was a fucking gauntlet. Our Saturday was harder than our Sunday. We made it to the championship, but we went 1-2 on Saturday, but we made it to the championship on Sunday. Like, do that. But I think it's much ado about nothing because a lot of these complaints, you can tweak things and change things and make it work the way that you want it to work. So, but I do believe that when everybody gets a opportunity, like everybody doesn't deserve an opportunity to play in the college football playoff. And I do really, really wish that bowl games had as much emphasis as necessary because bowl games, like that was my first time seeing some of these places in the manner in which like, you know, basically not seeing the world, but like, you know, went to New Orleans one year, Miami twice. Actually, to be honest with you, I probably would have never moved to Jacksonville had I never come to the Gator Bowl. So that was a cool thing to have been able to experience and be able to see the city as well as be able to work. A bowl game is like going on on vacation with your job where you only have to work a couple hours and you don't have anything else to do besides those 2 hours of work every day.
Going from the colleges, let's go to the big leagues, and that is the NFL. But before we get into the NFL, just want to give you guys a quick update about the SCORE Act, which would put some limits on revenue in terms of college athletics. And the SCORE Act, has been pulled from the House floor voting schedule this week, and this comes shortly after a boycott by the CBC, which is the Congressional Black Caucus, and the Congressional Black Caucus and other members of the government had issues with the SCORE Act, with the student athlete designation of the players, and kind of scooting further back away from this employee idea that a lot of people are kind of getting behind, putting limitations on the college game in terms of revenue for the players. But it still seems like coaches can do whatever they want. So that's one of the inconsistencies that people are noting, and just want to give you guys an update with that as well. Before we get into the big leagues where everybody is trying to get into, and that is the NFL. So we're going to talk about some Jaguars, James, because it's official. The Jaguars now have signed our first pick in this year's draft, the tight end from Texas A&M, meaning all 10 of the 2026 draft picks are now under contract. We got everybody under contract, so one step forward. Shout out to them. And speaking of legal troubles, James, this news broke right after, or during, I should say, our last show, and this is actually revolving around Urban Meyer. So Urban Meyer loses in arbitration over the 2021 firing as the coach with the Jacksonville Jaguars, saving our team more than $30 million. So James, this broke right when we were doing our last show, and let's just look at the most important piece of fact right here. We saved $30 million with Urban Meyer losing this arbitration case. Did you think he had a chance to win this case based off his reasoning, or did you think this was a long shot?
It was definitely a long shot, but you got to go try to get your bread. I ain't mad at him. But he should have never been hired. this whole city the nostalgia in this city is insane. Like they thought it was going to be Florida Gators 2.0 without forgetting that Urban's been a quitter everywhere he's gone. This man kicked the kicker, and I know kickers aren't people, but nobody deserves to be kicked. This man was as we joked about then on the sports den. He was showing a young lady how to do football drills, like how to snap. Like he's sitting down fingering a chick in a bar that he owns, where he wouldn't let a player, like he didn't fly back with the team. On top of that, he lost me money. You probably don't too young to remember this, but the Jaguars were up, I think 14-0 against the Cincinnati Bengals, if I remember correctly. But my boy OJ was in New Jersey at a casino and said, "Hey James, you want to put some money on the Jaguars winning by three scores?" I said, "Hell yeah, definitely." I had a great opportunity. I mean, I think it was like $100 I put down, and I was going to win like 3,000 or something. It was, bro, because come on, it was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous bet. The Jags sucked at that moment. All this motherfucker had to do was score. He could have kicked the field goal. Kick the field goal, you up 17-0 going into the second half. This motherfucker tries to run Trevor on a fucking zone read. Trevor gets stopped. The next thing you know, Cincinnati comes back and whips their ass. And I was mad. And at that point, I was ready for him to be gone. On top of the fact that 10-10XL bent over, grabbed ankles, dropped trout, and grabbed ankles for Urban Meyer. Like, they canceled nighttime programming. Like, they wanted us to be on one day a week for our normal show and then do Jags coverage for the Urban Meyer show on a Tuesday and a fucking rebroadcast on a Thursday. No, excuse me. The Urban Meyer show on a Wednesday, rebroadcast on a Thursday. High school football's on Friday, so we wouldn't have been on Friday nights. So we would have had, and we didn't do Tuesday nights because they had helmets and heels from 8 to, we would have had to bid on from 8 to 10, and we would have had to bid on from 10 to 12. And that just wasn't working. That didn't make any sense. So they wanted us on Sundays and Mondays, and our sponsors weren't having that. Then they said, "Oh, well, you can do a podcast, or you can just do that." Well, we can do a podcast without you. Hey, need your ass for a fucking podcast. But they dropped trial for this man, and I'm so grateful that everybody lost money on that shit. Couldn't happen to better people.
We got some news coming from a quarterback, James, a Super Bowl winning quarterback at that. And that is Matthew Stafford, the reigning NFL MVP as well. So Matthew Stafford and the Rams agreed on an agreement for a 1-year, $55 million extension worth up to $60 million with incentives. Now, Stafford has 2 years and up to $105 million remaining on his deal with the LA Rams. So shout out to Matthew Stafford for getting that 1 year, $55 million extension that could be worth up to $60 million. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
Hey, get that bread. Get that bread.
Yep, get that bread. Indeed, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the game. All of the players have nothing but high hopes to say about Stafford and his IQ specifically. So they have a lot of high praise for Matthew Stafford. And just wanted to show you guys that picture was taking a little bit to load, but there you go right here.
Is Matthew Stafford?
I know one thing, he definitely is younger than Aaron Rodgers, but I will look that up right now.
He looks old right there in that picture. Like,
he's only 38 years old.
oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, in a few years, if how much younger people will keep looking. Like, because I remember again, Carl Winslow looked like his life was over. He was supposed to be like 35 on or something like that. And like, or not Mel Gibson. Danny Glover was I'm 40, I'm too old for this shit in Lethal Weapon. And and like, I don't think I look anything anywhere near as old as Danny Glover ever looked. Like he actually looks younger now than he did then. So I'm just curious, like in 10 years, like or so, like when not 10 years, because Trey got a long way. When Trey's 30, like will 30 look like you in your teens? Like then I'm curious to how that stuff will work.
Your favorite QB told reporters he will be retiring after this upcoming season, James. After it was revealed that Rodgers and the Steelers agreed to a 1-year contract worth up to $25 million, I believe, he shortly announced that he will retire after this upcoming season.
I don't believe it. And I don't believe it. Unless they're making a remake of unless they're redoing the Walking Dead, and he's going to join the cast. I don't believe he's retiring, man. Like, I think he's going to milk this as long as he can. I think the only way he'll retire is if the Steelers say, like, we don't want you. If somebody says they don't want him, then he will well, then it won't be a voluntary thing. He just will he'll just be gone.
We got some news coming from the Detroit Lions. Any Lions fans in here, you are definitely happy. You are retaining Pro Bowl linebacker Jack Campbell. He agreed to terms on a 4-year, $81 million extension. He gets around $20.25 million per year with $51.5 million guaranteed. That is the best part. Campbell is one of the highest paid off the ball linebackers in the NFL as well. Just wanted to share that with you guys. We got a lot of money move winners today, especially Matt Stafford. He is the king of the money move segment with that new extension. And James, they are disrespecting that in Jigba, man. And it's just not trolls on social media. It's the NFL honors. So we know that JSN won the Offensive Player of the Year award for his great year as a wide receiver for the Super Bowl winning champs, the Seattle Seahawks. And once they sent him the trophy, instead of offensive, they had defensive player on the year on this trophy. And JSN took to social media, where it's definitely going to hurt the NFL, and posted the picture of the trophy saying it's getting disrespectful at this point with an emoji on his story. Then he also put, just keep the award at this point, leave it in the history books. So, man, how bad of a look is this for the NFL, giving him the wrong trophy or the wrong title on his trophy, I should say.
You gotta be able somebody's getting fired. I can know that should have been looked at. That's an easy non-oversight. So, but like, I think it's funny. I would sell it. Like, probably make all kinds of bread. But I want my trophy though. But that Nick Jigba is pretty damn good. If he can be defensive, he's so good on offense that it affects defenses. Man.
Well, I wish Rasheed Rice was on the defense a little bit, man, because got some bad
I
news.
was thinking about Ray Rice. Now, them Rices, man, stay in trouble with the law, man.
So, wide receiver Rasheed Rice violated his probation after testing positive for marijuana and has been ordered to serve 30 days in jail. He was booked this afternoon. This post was made on May 19, 2026 in Dallas County, Texas, and will be released, from custody on June 16th. That timeline means he'll miss OTAs and mini camp. Big Red, aka Andy Reid, probably does not like the sound of this. And just want to give you some more info coming from ESPN. 1 week before being ordered to serve 30 days in jail, Wide receiver Rashee Rice underwent a cleanup surgery on his right knee to remove loose debris that was causing inflammation and is now expected to sideline him 2 months. So, man, it just things keep compiling for Rashee Rice, but just a sticky situation for the Chiefs wide receiver. Man.
2 months
Crazy.
for weed in jail.
Well, he violated his probation.
Oh, okay.
Like he didn't just get that for like Ray Rice just does not Ray Rice. Rashee Rice he was the one who got in the wreck, right?
No, that's are you thinking about Henry Ruggs?
No, Henry Ruggs killed somebody, and he's
okay, right.
out.
But he did get in Rashee Rice did get into a
But he was driving too fast, and it was like a DUI or something like that. And he got off. And sometimes you just gotta sat your ass down somewhere.
So he just was on probation. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. I was like, damn.
Well, because what's wild is like if he wasn't on probation, you know how much weed you got to smoke now to fail a drug test in the NFL? Like you literally got to smoke a pound the day of the test to damn near to fail it. Like you got to like just be trying to fail the test now. They got it to where they're just like, just let us do something. Yeah. You can have this much weed in your system, but like we just got to look like we're trying to keep you Negroes in control. Be honest with you, I want him smoking weed. Because it relaxes him. It slows him down. Maybe he won't drive as fast.
I don't know a person.
Listen, I was so paranoid. I drove so slow. Like I don't even want to move. Like speaking of which, man, I had a gummy on Saturday, right? Trey decides that football drills time. His feet are so fucking heavy. I thought somebody was running on our roof. I didn't know what was. I went do. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, and I'm thinking, man, is he running in the house? But like, he's running right there. I look at the security cam. This motherfucker out there in full pads, getting active. I'm like, I can't get you to want to get active and like practice, but like, whatever, man. Hey, when you get the spirit, I guess, whatever, man. He could be doing worse. This is gonna be fun.
New court filings show Brian Flores' attorneys are seeking hiring records and internal communications from 25 NFL teams as part of his discrimination lawsuit against the league per ESPN. Flores' legal team says the information needed to help prove systemic discrimination in the NFL's hiring practices as his lawsuit against the league enters its 4th year.
Bring up the guy who just rested in peace, who passed away. What was his name? You told us about last week.
I was about to say Sherman Hemsley, but Sherman Lewis.
Yeah, look at
yes.
That's all the proof he did.
Like, it's one of those things where people fight so hard to prove that they're not racist.
Yeah, just to not feel that guilt. Don't feel it.
But you could just not be racist.
Yeah.
Like you really, it really should be as simple as hiring the best person. And it really should be as simple as saying, you know what? My bad. Maybe in the past we couldn't do that. We didn't know that this was the case because we weren't allowed. Now we're going to come in and there's a thing that I try to tell y'all. And the problem is people are stupid and they're arrogant and they don't realize discovery is a motherfucker. Why was Chucky fired from being the coach of the Raiders? Talking about his boss. Calling him faggot, all these other different things. People who talk so reckless on the phones, and it lets me know that a lot of people aren't really as tough or come from environments in which they come from. Like we've all seen American Gangster. You want to talk to me, you talk to him. And never on the phones. You hear me? Never on the phones. Take them glasses off. Look stupid. Like, that's the shit that real goons did. Like, they go talk about a washing machine. They don't leave a paper trail, but people love to leave paper trails. It's the arrogance in the emails. It's the stuff it's just your group text. Like, I just like, yo, like, you'll never get, like, my group chats are wild. You'll never catch James Coleman saying some wild shit that I'm ashamed to be able to come out. Because I know what can happen. Forget the forget the feds, forget laws. Some of y'all old ladies get mad at y'all. And the first thing they want to do is get to searching your damn phones. And the next thing you know, God damn it, I knew that dude giving them damn book bags out wasn't shit. Look at him. He's over here sitting like, no, ma'am. I am an upstanding gentleman, even in those. Now, when you get around me, I'm liable to say some wild shit. But I'm going to say it to you. Try not to say that shit in words or like in canon. This man going to find some shit. We're going to probably going to say some kind of that. And then the wildest part too is it's going to probably be the most maybe a pet nickname or maybe something that you wouldn't know isn't bad to him, but it's going to read really, really bad. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know what Brian Flores' nicknames are, but what if somebody called him, what if he was like the gorilla or the ape when he was playing? Tell him, if you're a white person and you put that on with your thumbs, and that might be what he's called. It's not gonna read well. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, some stuff is not. Like I used to tell when Trey and Kyle were born, I said, hey man, I had a friend Nina, a beautiful woman, white woman, Simpson colored, but I know she's white, likes black dudes. She wanted to get me something like some monkey pajamas for Trey. I said, bitch, if you send me them goddamn pajamas, I swear to God, I'll kill you. And she was like, why? I said, don't you send no black man. And I said, because she was pregnant with all, and when you have Austin, don't you put that baby in no goddamn monkey with bananas gear. That's a black baby. We don't do those kind of things. That's not nice. Like, that means something different to us. But like, don't be saying the monkeys jumping on the bed shit. Don't sing that. Don't send me that book. I don't want that. But I'm just telling you, it's going to look really, really bad when this information comes out, when you could have just hired him. Like, you really could just hire the best people. Like, you really could, like, you would really have all the ammunition that white people need is there. You just have chosen not to do it. You really could say we are progressive. We are really hiring the best people. Instead, that law is the reason why you got hired, in the process of hiring a bunch of people who ain't got none of the qualifications that the people you fired. All I'm saying is, if it were true, like, you got a whole quarterback, it Mike McDaniels, that you would rather hire a guy who is 1/4 black and a drunk than hire an actual black man. That's all I'm saying. Is sometimes it's just easier to do the right thing. But the most American thing than apple pie is, until it taps people's pockets, nobody cares.
So the NFL approved the ability to play as many as 10 international games starting in 2027, and also voted to strip teams' ability to protect any home games from international play. Yikes, that's a big caveat as well. So the NFL currently, for this upcoming season, plays 9 international games. So for 2027-2028 season, they approved one more international game, and also voted to strip the team's ability to protect any home games from international play. So it looks like they trying to go across the world no matter what, and not even the team can stop the NFL from that. So just wanted to give you guys an update, courtesy of Jay Fowler, ESPN, because you guys are going to be seeing a lot more international games, and you may have to wake up at different times to tune into these respective games. So I'm just giving you a heads up. And let's look at, speaking of international games, all the NFL's teams, each team's record in international games. So the Jaguars have played the most international games with our owner's ties to England. He owns the Fulham Football Club over there. So we got the England ties, in case you wonder why we always play in England. And the Jaguars are a perfect 500 in international games, 7-7. But the Vikings, man, they are on a tear, 5-1. Chiefs 3-1. Bears 3-1, and Niners and Giants are 3-1 as well. You can see the rest of the teams right here on this list. And let's go down all the way to the bottom to look at the winless teams in international games. You have the Bengals, Commanders, Packers, Browns, and the Tennessee Titans. So just wanted to share that with you guys. And James, we got some info coming from the NFL. These are your next 4 Super Bowl locations. Let's see how happy James is to see these cities. 2027, Los Angeles; 2028, Atlanta; 2029, Vegas, and it has been officially released and announced that Nashville is hosting the 2030 Super Bowl. Which one of these 4 Super Bowl locations are you most excited to attend, James?
Atlanta, kinda. Vegas was cool. It's just a week in Vegas is a long fucking time. Definitely not excited about Nashville, and I'm not sure if I even want to go to LA. Like, I'm just thinking about I know LA will be different than San Francisco. I'm just thinking about the traffic, and like I just like I saw the pictures, and like it just like if I go, I'm going to actually work. Like, I'm literally going from point A to point B. That's it. It's just not a like. It's just too many. It's just where there's too many people, and it's not like good. Like the only thing I say about Vegas is that most of the stuff that you needed to do was within walking distance from the hotel. And they're Marriott. It's a Marriott hotel now, so I can get my points. I mean, you're gonna spend you're spending 2 bands. That's a lot of money, dog. And it's just you have to ask yourself if it's worth it at a certain point. But like it's just from getting from point A to point B, when it takes you like 2 hours to get to something and you have multiple events that you have to go to, you start to not even enjoy the process of it. But 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 Atlanta should be fun. Might be more dangerous. Actually, Atlanta might be the most dangerous out of all of them. Now that I think about it. But still, I mean, I'll if I wasn't going to be at one, it'd be LA more than likely. But I'll probably more than likely be at all 4. LA is VD this year, Valentine's Day.
Yep, horrible timing by the NFL. A lot of partners out there gonna have to have some difficult convos with their ladies this upcoming Valentine's. But man, anyways, Minnesota, James, has been selected to host the 2028 NFL Draft. This past year, it was in Pittsburgh. Next year is going to be in DC. And now for 2028, James, it's official. The Minnesota Vikings will host the 2028 NFL Draft. Shout out to them and everybody at the NFL getting all these sites and getting all these dates and such confirmed for the fans out there like ourselves who love this info.
Kai asked if Minnesota was another country. He's like, but he remember he went up there to go. Damn, well, how long ago? Shit, the other one got to be graduating soon. But Alicia's, they went up there for one of them daughters' graduations. Yeah, he thought Kai was just like, is Minnesota? Is them like, I can see you thinking it's part of Canada, but you know, it's cold in May. Like, you know.
Now, sorry about that. We are at the Big Games BS section for the day. Although we typically don't cover sports in this, our last topic is a sports topic. But before we get to our last topic to close out the show, you know, we have to start this thing off right like we normally do. And we are going to start with our BS or Bussin' food review segment. Now, we try to find some eclectic, out of the ordinary food items and combinations. And this one kind of falls on that line. So, a lot of people love sushi. People even started to make and sell sushi burritos. But the video we have for you today is a sushi glizzy. Yes, it's a sushi hot dog, but it's not actual hot dog. You'll see how they formulate it. But if you are new to the show, please participate in our BS or Bussin' food review segment. If you think the food item looks good, put Bussin'. If you think the food item looks trash, but BS in the chat. We need y'all to spam BS or Bussins in the chat. But let's look at the crispy sushi hot dog, and it also has no sound as well. So just warning you guys.
Oh. Okay. I don't eat fish, but like now I I was like, I don't know where we were going with this.
I've had the sushi burrito. It's essentially the same thing. It looks good. I think you're best if you get one type of sushi. The sushi burrito mixes a whole bunch, so you don't get the flavor. It's just a mixed match of.
But that's just like what, tuna and rice.
Yeah, that's one flavor right there. I could mess with that.
Like, don't people? Isn't that just like a tuna roll?
Yeah.
Like I don't eat fish, so I call it BS. So, but like if you put some tempura on that bitch, like some shrimp tempura, I don't see why I wouldn't eat it.
Essentially, it's just a giant.
Like people who eat sushi, like what is different about that? That's not bread. It's not a hot dog.
It's bigger.
It's tuna. It's on a fried what is that shit called? Seaweed. It's fried seaweed tuna. Well, I mean, listen, I don't know. That's that liberal West Coast mumbo jumbo anyway.
It's essentially just a giant tuna roll.
Do they even have avocados in Japan? Or China, or wherever the hell sushi came from? Like, why is avocado on there? Did ninjas eat avocados? Like, I think avocados are something Central American.
They're imported primarily from Mexico.
They didn't have the avocados from Mexico in imperialistic Japan. Like, this is cultural appropriation. Like, one of the things that aggravates me the most about our culture is the fact that everybody want to be racist until it's time to be racist. Like, if you really like be all the way racist. Like, if you truly want to make it, like, go back to your bland, non-seasoned and having ass and just be that.
You know, right?
It's like when I get with man, I don't see color. Bullshit. We all see color. You taste it. Like, that's why I like Taco Tuesdays. If you don't want immigrants, you don't deserve good tacos.
At all.
If you don't like you think black people taking your job, you don't deserve fried chicken then, sir. That was scraps. They just made scraps delicious we showed you what you could do when you throw the bullshit out there and you put a little salt and pepper on it. Like, but that being said, give me real, like, don't give me some Japanese shit Americanized. Or like, actually one of the greatest, there's this guy, there's these content creators, and it's a fat Mexican, and he went to a place and he was eating sushi, and he was like just very Mexican, and then he looked, and then there was a Japanese person with chopsticks eating tacos, and he's just like, and they're looking at each other like what are you doing? And he dips his sushi in whatever the sauce or whatever it is, and he takes his burrito taco and he dips it with his with a chopstick into the au jus sauce. But like, no, man, just like, there was no need. Anyways, Tokyo avocados.
We gonna close out the show with the Youngin' Wildin' segment, man. Although Nolan Smith is on the Philadelphia Eagles, you can't take that dog out of him, and that's that Georgia Bulldog, because former Georgia Bulldog Nolan Smith was arrested last Friday for speeding in excess of maximum limits and reckless driving, per the Georgia Gazette. Smith was booked into the Twiggs County Jail. He was going 137 miles per hour in a 70. We got some more information coming from ESPN. Yes, he is Eagles linebacker Nolan Smith Jr., and he's a former Georgia Bulldog.
Hey, was Nolan Smith the one whose mom and dad was playing spades?
I think so.
That was at Tag Saturday. I knew he was an N-word. I knew there was some real N-words, bro. I knew that for a fact, bro. Okay, I had to make sure, double check. I was like, I remember that. That's the one who mama was. Yeah, okay. She was having a good old time. Just couldn't play for tag.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bro. All right, bro. I'll let you. Yeah. I just had to. This is real. He a real N-word. Like, his parents are very educated, but they black. They blackity black. And I remember that kid, man. I thought we was gonna get him.
Speeding in Georgia. Wow.
Was he speeding in Georgia or was he speeding in Philly?
Oh, okay.
You know, he was speeding in Georgia, and he got booked in Georgia by the Twiggs County Sheriff's Office. So according to notes taken by a member of the Sheriff's Office that night, Smith was clocked going 135 in a 70-mile-per-hour zone on the interstate at 10:41 p.m. Smith made bond and was released about an hour after he was booked. A court date is set for July 14th. Smith would not appear if he pays the fines associated with the citations, the sheriff's office said. The Georgia Gazette was first to report Smith's arrest. Smith is the latest former or current Georgia player to be arrested for driving offenses. His Eagles teammate Jalen Carter was given 12 months probation and a $1,000 fine in 2023 after pleading no contest to misdemeanor charges of reckless driving and racing related to a crash that killed Bulldogs offensive lineman Devin Wilcock and recruiting staffer Chandler LaCroix. Smith, 25.
That came out right before Jalen was about to get drafted.
Smith, 25, was selected by the Eagles in the first round of the 2023 draft, reuniting with his other teammates who played at Georgia, including Carter, Nakobe Dean, and Jordan Davis. The Eagles OTAs began Tuesday, and this, was by ESPN. So, man.
So, one of the cool things about all of this is we're learning valuable lessons. For those who don't know, everybody, so you know how they say there's Florida and then there's Miami, right? Miami is it's just different than the rest of the state of Florida. I'd argue that Miami, really, I-4 South is another state. Not really. Let me change that. Orlando, Tampa, and Miami are different places. Like the rest of that shit really is like it's a weird redneckish. Like because it's like got some tropicalness because like it just doesn't make sense. There's Atlanta and then there's Georgia. Like, and then having gone there last time where we were at for the sevens really showed me that like it is a lot of trees and a lot of like a lot of farmland and a lot of stuff in Georgia, man. I got a chance to really experience Georgia for the first time. It's really, really dark in some of those places like that are like, it's just, if something happens to you, people ain't getting to you really quick, man. Right. And the historian in me was just like, I was just watching Bass Reeves, Lawman, really Taylor Sheridan nobody ever compare him to Tyler Perry. I have never seen the best. He needs to write more about the black experience. That white man if a black man would have wrote Bass Reeves, white people would be saying that that's propaganda. But like I can only imagine riding a horse back in those days in that area and just be a little devastating and terrifying. But like you can't have certain cars and be in general and be anybody in Twigg County, Georgia. I ain't never heard of Twigg County, Georgia. Like, but that's just, apparently I didn't even know that was what Macon was called. Like, I only know about Macon as being right outside of Atlanta, so is Forsyth. And Forsyth just got black people about 10 years ago in that county. They were famous for not having any black people in it and keeping it that way. So it's just, y'all got, man, listen, but the cool thing is money is the real, at a certain point when you have enough money, things won't affect you. Enough power and influence, things won't affect you as much. And apparently he could just write a check. It said if he pays the fine, he ain't got to worry about going to court, right?
Yes, that was true. It did say that. Yep, it was in the article. If he did pay the fines, didn't have to go to that court date of July 14th. Yeah, so man. I assume we're all gonna assume that he definitely is gonna pay those fines, so he won't have to show up to court. But just wanted to show that you can't take the dog out of somebody, James. You're gonna have that dog in them forever. And it turns out that the person we were discussing got that Georgia Bulldog in him. So man, that's all I had for today's show as we bring in this weekend. But if there's anything you would like to touch up on that I didn't, please let the audience know as we bring in this weekend.
It's Memorial Day. Hope everybody stays safe and have some fun and appreciate everybody everybody, had a couple people tell me they like the hair. I'm still getting used to this shit. But I appreciate that. But outside of that, man, appreciate what you got going for Memorial Day, Jaden.
The day itself, I don't think nothing, but I'm gonna go check out the jazz festival. Got some people I want to see.
Who's doing the jazz? That's why I was looking for you on them hotels, Miles. I was like, why the fuck is the hotel so goddamn expensive? And then I forgot the jazz festival is this weekend. Which is again, it marks the anniversary of when Miles told somebody that he talked about he didn't understand why people were cross-eyed with a black president. We should have less cross-eyed people. I also found I met a Hispanic Grammy Award winning guy who gave me some of the best advice in the world at the jazz festival. And he told me, you have to always remember never to forget, but forget never to remember. I was like, you are high. Hey, who you going to go see, Jaden, at the Jazz Fest? Who you want to go see?
So we got George Clinton in Parliament. I'm hyped. Nile Rodgers and Chic, Kamasi Washington, Moonchild. Those are some of the people I want to see. So I'm excited to see old and young. And I like music a lot, so it's gonna be cool seeing the OGs, seeing some of the younger people. It's gonna be fire.
P-Funk finna set it down.
For sure.
That should be good.
For sure. Yup. For sure.
All right. Well, on that note, man, hope everybody has it. But it is free if you're in Jacksonville. One of the best events that you could go to. Vivian Green was the one who did it. That was the weekend. I didn't even realize that happened. The Vivian Green was there when I went, and then I've seen Patti LaBelle. And it was somebody else that did it. Every year they have some really, really good headliners. So on that note, man, I really appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me, and we will see you guys next time.